Here is a look at First News. It's fair, it's accurate. The Biden administration's all giddy today because the military's finished installing that floating pier on the Gaza Strip, and they are poised to begin ferrying badly needed humanitarian aid into that area after the Israel terrorist war broke out. The overnight construction sets up a delivery process now after Joe Biden ordered it to help the Palestinians. We have not set up a pier or escalated our aid going into the Ukraine for the millions of people that have been displaced there. Food, water, things like that. American officials insist U.S. troops will not set foot in Gaza, though they acknowledge the danger of operating near the war zone there. Hospital officials said that Slovakian Prime Minister Robert Fico is in serious but now stable condition. He was shot multiple times yesterday in an assassination attempt, shook up that small country. It's being treated at an intensive care unit. The suspect is in custody. Said there was clear political motivation behind the attack, but the good news is it looks like he's going to make it. Russian President Vladimir Putin thanked Chinese leader Xi yesterday for China's efforts to try to resolve the Ukraine conflict in Beijing. The two leaders reaffirmed a no-limits partnership that has grown deeper. Both countries face deepening tensions with the West. China needs energy. Russia has a lot of it. They're not held to the same standards we are, and their leaders embrace fossil fuels. It's been making Russia wealthy. In fact, it's been funding their war ever since we curtailed our energy development and escalated our war on fossil fuels here. But Joe Biden and his administration, they've done nothing to broker a ceasefire or some kind of settlement with Vladimir Putin. Instead, we're sending another $68 billion worth of military hardware there to battle him on that front. Michael Cohen will be testifying today in former President Trump's non-disclosure agreement trial. Defense lawyers have been chewing him up in the courtroom, and trial will resume again today. Cohen is the last witness for prosecutors who have yet to still give the jury an indication of what the crime is and why they are there. Joe Biden came out with a video yesterday challenging Donald Trump to some debates. Donald Trump accepted no matter what the conditions. They are already waiting the debate to do everything in favor of Joe Biden. Only the liberal networks will host them. The liberal moderators will host them. There will be no third-party candidates. The microphones will be squelched while the other answers the question. There will be no back-and-forth debate, and that there will be no audience at that debate. It'll probably have to be at noon. Who knows? First one is expected to be in June in Atlanta. CNN will be conducting that one. We learned more about the Florida crash that killed 8 workers down there. Investigators said the man with a long record of dangerous driving told them that he was smoking marijuana oil and taking prescription drugs right before he sideswiped the bus. 8 farm workers were killed, according to the Florida Highway Patrol. Marion County records show the man had at least 3 crashes and numerous traffic tickets dating back to 2006, crossing center lines. License has been suspended 3 times, convicted of grand theft, tested positive for cocaine while he was working once. Big druggie, took 8 lives. Speaking of drugs, there are fewer fatal overdoses last year than the year before, but still too many. 107,500 people died from drugs last year. That's down about 3% from the year before. One of the reasons, the availability of Narcan now that is carried by law enforcement personnel and others to quickly combat the use of fentanyl. U.S. officials said the number of reported sexual assaults across our military was down last year. 19% drop. Both are dramatic reversals at what has been a growing problem. 29,000 active duty service members said in a survey they had unwanted sexual contact during the previous year. But that is a decrease from 36,000 in 2021. At the same time, 8,515 sexual assaults were reported last year involving members of the U.S. military. Shares have opened a little lower in Europe today. Most Asian benchmarks are up. The Wall Street rally, driven by hopes that inflation could be heading in the right direction, maybe weighted in on that. Tokyo was up today. The Nikkei's up. NASDAQ yesterday also up, as well as the Dow Jones and S&P 500. Dow was up 349 points as of yesterday. Inflation's still on the rise. It did not rise as quickly as it did the month before, but it is still going up and up every month. Almost 20% now since the Biden administration took office. Some of the stocks that traded heavily yesterday. Petco Health and Wellness up 57 cents. The pet store chain said that they are doing well. People will spend endless dollars on their pets to keep them comfortable. NetTracker also was up yesterday. They are a solar energy equipment supplier. They beat Wall Street's fiscal quarter. Lots of government money now going into renewable energy, driving their prices. Oh, and Congress yesterday passed a bill that will add more safety inspectors at aircraft factories and give air travelers automatic refunds. They gave final approval to a bill, $105 billion. $105 billion for a few more safety inspectors and to make sure you get a refund from the airlines? How in the hell could that cost $105 billion? A tenth of $1 trillion, Mark.
It couldn't.
A tenth of $1 trillion. The FAA, all the FAA has to do is make a rule. That's all they have to do. Nope. $105 billion. The FAA wants to hire more air traffic controllers. As we mentioned when we give you the jobs report every week, folks, or every month, government, the fastest growing business in America, outpacing our economy now as government. Congress also yesterday, Chuck Schumer spent $32 billion to develop artificial intelligence safeguards. $32 billion yesterday. Folks, where's this all coming from?
You and me.
$32 billion. They disagreed on the best path forward, but found consensus on policy recommendations. $32 billion. Visa's in the news. They've announced major changes on how its credit and debit cards will operate in the U.S. Features that in the works that will now lead Americans to carry fewer physical cards in their wallets and make the 16-digit credit or debit card number printed on every physical card increasingly irrelevant. The new features unveiled Wednesday will be some of the biggest changes on how payments operate since the U.S. rolled out chip-embedded cards several years ago. This comes at a time when Americans now have many more options to pay for a purchase that isn't just credit or debit, including buy now, pay later. That's a great system. That's what Americans need. Buy now, pay later. Peer-to-peer payment options. I don't know what that is.
Say that again.
Peer-to-peer.
No idea.
Paying directly with your bank or digital payment systems like Apple Pay, things like that. Is that good? What we need, folks, we're going opposite of what we should be doing, right? We should be making it more difficult to spend money that you don't have. That's what we should be doing. Auto technology is evolving. Many newer cars now using the wireless key fobs, push button starters, all that kind of stuff. Technology makes it more convenient to get into your vehicle, but it also makes it easier now for thieves. Keyless entry systems have enabled a surge in auto thefts carried out through so-called relay attacks. Experts said it's relatively easy for drivers to secure their cars. You can get a signal blocker to hold your keys when you get home. The physical lock that attaches to the steering wheel also acts as a visible deterrent. Many automakers let you disable the remote unlock function now on your key fobs. God, you're going to need a degree anymore to start your car. Americans slowed down their spending in April. We found that out yesterday. One of the reasons, inflation was up again. Retail sales were unchanged, about 0.6% pace in March. Dragged down, comes after sales fell 1.1%, dragged down partially because of gas prices, auto sales, retail sales. Here closer to home, the FAA said the crash of a single-engine airplane in southeastern Montana killed the pilot and a passenger. It was a Piper PA-18. It crashed just east of Forsyth Tuesday afternoon. The cause of that plane crash is still under investigation. Rosebud County Sheriff said they've identified the victims. They haven't released the names yet. The crash did not start a fire. They will investigate to see what happened. John Tester and Tim Sheehy will be debating coming up in June. That debate is scheduled, I believe, for June 8th or 9th. I can't remember which one it is, but it will be at Fairmont Hot Springs. And don't worry, you're not allowed to go.
That's right.
The voters are not allowed to be there. The voters aren't. The Montana broadcasters can be there, but the voters, screw you. This is America. In America, we don't like freedoms here anymore. You're not allowed to go. It'll be at Fairmont, and that'll be interesting. Oh, by the way, ESPN's broadcast of the Kinetic Suns game against the Pacers with Caitlin Clark, highest viewership of a WNBA game on network. That's right. The game drew 2.1 million viewers. And in fact, at one point, they hit 2.3 million viewers. That topped the previous mark of a game on May 22nd in 2004. That was Diana Taurasi's rookie season. But she's going to do good things for the WNBA. Oh, and the Academy of Country Music Awards are tonight. Ford Center, Frisco, Texas, north of Dallas. I think Frisco, Texas is where they have the championship game.
It is for football, yeah.
Yeah, for our division, for the Cats and Grizz. Reba will be hosting it 17th time, and Kane Brown, Jelly Roll, Thomas Rhett, Post Malone will be there, Gwen Stefani, Jason Aldean will tribute Toby Keith. They'll stream on Prime Video and the Amazon Music channel or on Twitch Live. So once again, we're out, Mark.
I've got Prime Video.
We're out, peer-to-peer, PayPal, all this stuff. Just leaving us behind, Wilson.
Let's go back 35 years. Paul, can you loan me $10 to pay me?
Yes, I can. Is there a slot on the door where I can put my key in and open my vehicle, please?
Well, in sports, a long time ago, they'd put out the NFL schedule, and you'd pick up a copy of USA Today to see who your team played. And now this thing is so overhyped. Well, we released the first game on Sunday and a couple more on Tuesday, so full schedule came out yesterday. And NFL is really trying to maximize their product and get ratings. 5 of the quarterbacks taken in the first round affected the schedule because they want to showcase these guys in games. There's a chance when Chicago plays Washington that the number 1 and number 2 picks will both be on the field. They like that. We have got games all over the place in Brazil and Germany and London. And I think the poor Jaguars, they have to play 2 weeks in a row in London and then fly back.
God, they're going to be sick of fish and chips, aren't they?
Something.
They're trying to grow the sport. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's like when we did our school lunch visits and we went to Gardner, places like that. We did it, trying just to expand the show and popularity, and that's what they're doing in the NFL. 78 degrees today, going to be a warm one. Quite a few clouds out there right now. Tomorrow we got a 70% chance of rain on Friday again, and then a cooler weekend. 65 Saturday, 55 and 50% chance of rain on Sunday. Whew! Can anybody say Mark Wilson on a couch with a sleeping bag in the PGA Championship Sunday? Can anybody say that?
You have incredible insight.
Oh, gosh. 53 out there right now at 6:43, and that's what's happening. Mark and Paul here together. Maybe some Winona tickets for you today here on The Cat.